I've been exhausted for days on end, sleeping, but not really. You know the average not awesome sleep? Pull my eye mask over my eyes. I can hear what sounds like a train pulling into the station in my head. It makes me freak out a little. There are no trains nearby. I ignore it and breathe out, while my eyes are shut, really tight. Can you imagine it with me? This recount of a thing feels like we're on some sort of acid trip. Our eyes are, like I said, shut tight. Our eyebrows are grazing and suffocated with the grey, soft cotton eye mask from the plane we took yesterday, yet we start to see our vision brighten, as if eyelids and eye masks don't exist. We can't feel it anymore. Even the uncomfort of those silly, stretchy cables behind our ears. Anything we can see now is a solid, horrible white computer glare white colour. That colour makes us squint a little. It happens so fast. We don't have a chance to ask questions. All while hearing the train clickety-clacking in the background. Blurred in front of us, but with a feminine gentleness, we begin to see people, passengers on the train, glide past us. They're singing a song. Their arms are crossed over themselves, holding each other's hands. In unison, they are bouncing their fists up and down in time with an infectious chant. I hate that I can't remember their chant. It annoys me to this day, the pieces I can recall. Jiggy-headed something, and you put flowers on the street? Yes, she puts flowers on the street. The view becomes clear, crystal clear. Look in front of you, just as clear as what you can see. I saw. I could see their eyes, smiles, their movements, all confusing. I was knocked sideways. I'm frowning, eyes shut, but I can't place them. By them, I mean all the faces and people I saw so clearly. I'm searching my head for slithers of time to piece them like I always do when searching for people I've seen before. They're in my memory. That's why my mind hit its search button. I was able to explore this world for a couple of nights, as a sensible and, well, sane human. I assumed I was reliving a film I may have seen years ago. I searched and searched for some of the chant and storyline for what I'm about to tell. Google returned nothing. This is why I question myself. Where did I go? What did I see? I'm creative-ish. I'm not as brilliant in designing this story. No chance. It's not mine. I feel like a victim of it. I still do. My sight then for a second is black. I'm back behind the mask. Not for long. The view comes in again and fades in slow motion to see a young girl wearing a neat uniform appearing in my view. She's in a dark, cobbled, grounded town square. She looks nervous and untrustworthy. The girl's hands are clasped tightly in front of her as she looks around, her eyes darting back and forth. She seems to be searching for something or someone. Her uniform is that of a student, with a crisp white blouse and a plaid skirt. But there's something off about her, something that makes me so icky and uneasy. I felt I was standing in this square that could have been charming if not for the chilling air of foreboding hanging over it. The place felt like it was steeped in secrets, and later I realized that I, unwittingly, had just become part of its latest story. Little did I know, I was standing on the brink of a prophecy I'd fought tooth and nail to avoid, a prophecy that was gagging to rewrite itself with me in the starring role. Everything I saw at first happened so fast, too fast to think logically. Intuitively, I felt like I'd been summoned here, called back to this shadowy world by folks with hearts so dark they could give the boogeyman nightmares. We're talking about the kind of evil that doesn't get better with time, it just festers. A better description would be to say the evil molds over everything, making it rot. The crickety crack of train noises have gone, and I realize I can't hear much else but what sounds like winter. Have you heard that before? When snow falls and it sort of blankets all other sounds? Soft busyness from the streets that I began to see in the background are now obvious echoing things to hear as I experienced a brush of coldness over my nose. I could have spun in circles slowly. It felt like magic. So strange. And then, as if to mark the occasion, the sky above us started doing something straight out of a fantasy epic. Gold snow, yeah, you heard me, began to fall, drifting down like flakes of a sun-kissed blizzard. It was mesmerizing, but in a way that screamed, "This is definitely not normal." I could hear murmurs weaving through the crowd on the nearest street behind me. She's back. It's happening. Every whispered word sent a shiver down my spine. It didn't feel nice. My spine was cold. I felt anxious. I was so caught up in the spectacle, curiosity overriding my senses, that I almost forgot to be scared. I mean, this had to be a dream, right? Just some vivid figment of my imagination. Young schoolgirls started to weave past me into view. A few of them, then many. They all looked the same. To help you see what I did, they were like clones of Wednesday Addams, yet lacking personality to pull off the dark vibe they spoiled behind them. I felt like Casper, the friendly ghost. They didn't even notice me. I felt so weird, and again, all of this happened so quickly for me to question it. I was inside a film. That's what it felt like. My eyes swung round and I saw her again, the sketchy girl, standing a little too close for comfort. Something about her still didn't sit right with me. She was the center of this strange, ominous gathering, and as the gold snow swirled around us, a hushed sense of anticipation hung in the air. Before I could even begin to unravel what was happening, the situation took a turn for the bizarre. The gold snow, the whispers, the eerie atmosphere, it all crescendoed as something fell into the girl's hands. My heart skipped a beat. This was it, a moment. Perhaps I, or this weird knowing of something the characters you'll meet soon with me describe as the prophecy seemed to be waiting for. Looking up, this almost transparent-looking napkin danced down, swirling right towards the little hands the scary girl placed up to catch. I strained to see what she'd received, a riddle, a clue, a harbinger of things to come. The group of uniformed girls around her seemed to buzz with a sinister excitement. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was watching something unfold that was way bigger and way darker than anything I'd experienced before. In that instant, the world seemed to hold its breath. The gold snow ceased its descent, and time itself felt suspended. The girl and her clique, now armed with their mysterious prize, took off in a frenzied dash towards an old toy shop across the cobbled square we stood in, that looked like it had been plucked from a grim fairy tale. I was left there, my mind racing, heart pounding in my chest. This wasn't just another strange chapter in my dream wanderings. It was something else, something that tied into the very fabric of my fate. And as the gold flakes settled around me, I knew one thing for sure. Things were about to get a whole lot more real. So here I am, floating around this bizarre world that's as vivid as my own bedroom on a sunny morning. It's like I've got this VIP pass to the supernatural. I can sort of float, basically ghosting through scenes where I'm somehow shown things, or more like, if I'm honest, where I know my story's about to get a whole lot more complicated. At first, I thought this was just one heck of a vivid dream. You know, the kind where you wake up and can't wait to tell everyone, "You won't believe what I dreamed last night." But that urge to share, it fizzles out real quick. The more I see, the more I wish I could unsee. It's like I've stumbled into levels of consciousness that are way above my pay grade, and I can't shake the feeling that I've been yanked back into a world I tried to escape, without choice or without being in control. Like sitting inside a body doing the moving and just observing what's going on, I rush to chase the Wednesday Adam doppelgangers. Shh sound curses my ears as I do. I can still feel that cold ice on my little nose. It sort of hurts, or has just started to. It's only one of the handful of things that's now making me uncomfortable. As I'm floating above these uniformed girls, there's this chill in my heart. They're not exactly the cheerleading type, more like they're auditioning for the role of most likely to start a coven. They're bickering outside this creepy toy shop, and that's when I hear them reading the riddle. It's not your typical brain teaser. It's more like a dark, twisted poem. Something about a leader who won't be followed, a lone voice in a game that's more war than play. And then bam! Chaos erupts. The girl who caught the sky gift is suddenly under attack from her own squad. It's like watching a scene from a dystopian movie, only it's way too real. A violent, unrefereed rugby scrum. These girls want whatever fell from the sky in their own hands.